Wait a minute, you ain't driving. That's a win.
Yeah, win is I'm actually at home right now. No, the win is I launched my salsa business that doesn't have a name yet and got an order for 90 jars.
Heck yeah. Now, wait a minute. I thought you were going with me salsa, like M11, M-I-I. You don't like that?
I don't know what I'm doing. I need a name.
You know, my win was I learned how to kind of use, what is it called? Caravan or Canva or something like that.
Canva.
Yeah. And then
Canva.
I did it, you know, it was good. It was great for me. And so then Kathy turned around and like just killed Facebook story time. I went night.
And I know how to share it. I got to win. I know how to share it on my phone through Zoom.
Oh, I need that win for next time.
Right? I have no idea.
Hey, we have a friend joining us. Her name is Jennifer.
Where's she at?
She's the phone.
Well, Jennifer, nice to meet you.
Well, hello.
Phone.
How about you?
She's a chameleon. Hers went from a gray phone to a green phone. Did you see that?
Very, very, I like being conspicuous. How are you?
Excellent. Thanks for joining us. I'm always serious if you haven't noticed.
It's all right. It's all good.
Michelle, congrats on your salsa. I do have, Lisa would vouch for me. I have a prize-winning sangria to wash that salsa down.
Sangria, always fantastic.
So how are you going to send that through the mail? Better.
I'm working on figuring out how to ship. But you cut out, Russ, and I didn't hear everything.
That's why you got to have extra Juice Plus. We got to bring down the inflammation from the salsa and the. Actually, we should. You're going off the Tower Garden, aren't you?
Yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to do is try to have everything shown as grown and organic.
Isn't that awesome?
From some of the competition.
That's a great idea. Jason, you should create a Tower Garden that makes chips.
I can do it.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we were like, dude, let's do this, right?
It'll grow flat corn.
It's Siesta Tower Garden. .com. All right, let's get. Anybody else got a win? Because we can keep getting stupider.
No, I have a win. I got a win. I had a patient start a wonderful family, like, gosh, year and a half ago. And I told her about Juice Plus, her report of findings. She loaded up her cart that night with 2 orders, everything for everybody. And then she's like, I don't know if I need it. And she wiped the cart clean. And I've never been able to get her to order anything since then. And she came in and started asking me questions about inflammation in her joints. What can she do about it? And I just looked at her. I said, you could take the Juice Plus I told you to take a year and a half ago. And there it is. She made the orders. She's got the goods. And I think she's somebody that I'm definitely going to talk to about the business. I think she could kill it.
When someone's that stubborn against, they will be that stubborn for. And we'll touch a little bit on that mindset, guys. 100%. Like when they're like, that's who I was. Like, get out of my office. Don't talk to me about that. And now I'm the guy like talking. Figure that one out. So yeah. Hey,
usually how it goes.
That's exactly how it goes, Jennifer. I was never gonna do that. Yeah. And then I became that guy. I think you guys are welcome. I don't know, maybe. Is that good?
Yeah.
Let's get started, guys. Me and technology. Let's do this. Nope, wrong. Where's it at? Show me. Slideshow. Now, wait a minute. Come on now. Slideshow.
Hit that little thing down on the bottom.
Where?
Looks like a slide.
Right there.
Leave it to figure it out.
I always do this. I don't, like, what in the world? It's not showing up the way it normally shows up. Presenter. Oh, I got lucky. Oh my goodness. I got lucky. Yes. Well, hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Kenny Harless. I'm exceptional at technology, as you can obviously see. Thank you. I'm a national marketing director of Team Prosperity, and I'm also a mindset coach with Bob Proctor and Proctor and Gallagher Institute. And I often get asked this question, why Juice Plus? And honestly, initially, I was introduced to it and I wanted no part of it. And so about 4 years ago, a friend introduced it to me again. I started to take it, didn't understand it, didn't know what to do with it, and just kind of did my thing. 2 years after that, one of my best friends gets a hold of me and tells me to check it out. I fight and resist him. He said, look, you're not eating 10 to 15 servings of vegetables and fruits a day. Check this stuff out. I knew I wasn't. I understood inflammation, so I started to dive into it. So anyway, what I started to do, honestly, and the reason I took this was because of my little girl. I knew there was no way that she was eating the way that she should, nor was I, at eating 10 and 15 servings of raw vegetables and fruits every single day. So when I was able to get 30 of these, put in capsules. And I get asked this question a lot, guys. People ask, well, how in the world can you fit all that in a capsule? And I always say, well, hey, if I cremated you, how much use left? Right? So what they basically do is they remove the fiber and the water and the sugar, and they use the pit, stems, seeds, and pills from these plants. And they vine ripen them all to increase absorption rates by 95% versus produce in a grocery store, 40%. And they pluck them when they're ripe, they wash, and then what they do is they freeze them within 6 hours of plucking them. And they use very extremely low dehydration techniques to maintain the enzymes in these capsules or in these plants so that the enzymes can turn the plant and food into actual energy. So when I looked into that, it just made sense. And plus, people don't have to taste them. So I know a lot of times people run into the problem of trying to eat vegetables, they really don't want to do them. And these things come in capsules and gummies. So when you want to look at omegas, I have always been a proponent of using these. And especially when I found our own, these came out a few years back. They're also plant based. They're vegan, they're gluten-free and dairy-free. They actually use a cold fusion technique where they cold fuse the capsules. They cold press, which means that they're not heating it. And in doing so, they add nitrogen bubble into the capsule to maintain the integrity of these oils. And the oils, I didn't know this, but when you think mostly as I did of omegas, you think of omega-3 and fish oil. Well, fish actually get the omega-3 from algae. So our company said, well, man, if we can keep plant-based only, why wouldn't we do that? It's more sustainable. You don't have to taste fish breath, which is disgusting. And also, they also have a blend. It's omega-3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. So omega-7 helps to stabilize omega-3 and to allow it to have access and permeability, which means suppleness to get into the cell and maintain its integrity to be useful. Some of the wonderful benefits of omegas, guys, medical research shows, is brain health. How many people do you guys know maybe that are pregnant and they get mommy brain, as you've heard, or postpartum depression? This is a wonderful way to bridge that gap and to get the omegas that the mother needs, because 80% of the brain, the white tissue, is actually fats. And 72% of the tissue of our cells are made of fat. So when a mom is making a whole other little one inside, it's robbing the brain a lot of times of that fat. And the fats also make up your hormones. So omegas have a wonderful component into increasing hormonal regulation, joint and gut health and joint pain health, cardiovascular health. When I looked at the history of my family with cardiovascular disease, stroke, cancer, these type of things, I didn't want to sign up for that history. So I started looking for things that were the simple, easy button that we call Juice Plus, just for those causes. And one of my favorite studies was done at Oxford, Durham, where they took little children who had hyperactivity. And basically hyperactivity is inflammation in the brain. And what that does is it's basically a form of almost like early Alzheimer's and dementia, to be honest with you. And what they did is they mega-dosed omega-3 in these children for 3 to 6 months, compared that to Ritalin. And the kids that took the omegas in a mega dose, they increased reading and comprehension anywhere from 12 to 15 months, guys, without any symptomatology that you would find inside of Ritalin. Ritalin is actually a class 1 amphetamine, just under cocaine. And we are the #1 user in the world. 5% of the population is in America. And we consume 95% of the world's Ritalin. Riddle me that. So guys, here are shakes. How many people do you guys know that take, I don't know, maybe a protein shake like I used to? And they usually take whey. So you hear them, I always say this, the little nursery rhyme, Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet eating her curds and whey. And what whey is, it's a runoff of dairy. So when you see something that says highly processed or isolated, that simply means honestly garbage and runoff. And the Canadian government took dairy out of the food pyramid 2 years ago because of how inflammatory it is. Now you keep hearing me say this buzzword inflammatory. What does that mean? Well, when you hear words or diagnoses that end in osis, like OSIS, or ITIS, did I spell it right? Itis, excuse me, like arthritis, bronchitis, plantar fasciitis, all those type of itises, that means inflammation. Inflammation in Latin, it's from the Latin root word meaning fire. What does that mean? How does it show up in someone's body? Well, has anyone here started to maybe not sleep as well? Have hormonal issues? Or seen family members with this? A lot more joint pain. You're starting to get joint pain. Your body's not recovering as well. You're starting to get love handles. These are all signs of chronic low-grade inflammation. It's like a grease fire on your stove. And so what we try to do is put that out. But a lot of times what we're doing when we're trying to put it out, we're not using the right stuff. We're throwing water on that grease fire. That's like using a multivitamin. I call these right here, guys, the yabba dabba don'ts. So the Flintstones, yabba dabba don'ts, literally. Like, and the reason I call them don'ts, notice how that's a locking lid. I would tell Wilma not to take these, right? I mean, because when it locks, that means it's not good for you. It means that 60,000 Americans overdose every year on those. When you look at Juice Plus, it's actually a flip top, and we'll explain that more. And there's gummy bags, Ziploc bags. That's because they're whole food, the way God intended. But when you look at our shakes here, guys, what Juice Plus does, what fruits and vegetables do and berries, it's like throwing grease fire on that fire. When you throw baking soda on the fire, you put the fire out, and that's what fruits and vegetables do. The shakes are also plant-based. They are non-GMO soy to contain the amino acid spectrum you need to create the over 33,000 different protein structures in the human body. When you use soy, it's the type of soy you use. We use non-GMO. That means there's no genetically modified organisms that your body doesn't recognize. And it's how they process it. They use whole soy, and they also use water washing to extrapolate it. When you see other methods, when you ever seen something like olive oil and it says extra virgin, you pay more for extra virgin because they cold press it. They literally use a press, and you don't get as much oil that way. So it's more expensive. It's more time consuming, but it's healthier. When they don't use that, what they're doing is they're using hexane oil. They heat it. Hexane oil, by the way, is a known carcinogen. That means cancer-causing agent. They've also got many studies on this. They've got the LACE trials and the Shanghai trials showing that women, when they have survived cancer, that what happens, soy in its whole form acts as a SERM. That's an acronym, selective estrogen reuptake modifier. It actually binds into receptors on the cell. And when the soy jumps in there, estrogen can't bind in. Now, you may ask, why is that important? When you have extra estrogen entering into cells, there's estrogen in the rain, there's estrogen in plastic products, all these things bombarding your system. When estrogen goes up, testosterone goes down. You have a deficit. Estrogen makes you pound on more weight. Women, when you get pregnant, you're checking estrogen. Estrogen makes you store body fat. When body fat goes up, so do cancer rates, diabetic and everything else. So does inflammation, the root cause. So if you can block that, the estrogen is reduced. And what that tends to do, they found in the research in over 5,000 people in studies, a reduction by 43% in certain cancers in the reoccurrence. Also, Juice Plus in this regard has actually been studied at MD Anderson in Houston, Texas, where they use Juice Plus and these shakes on cervicogenic cancer survivors, guys. So those are just a couple of the known factors. Plus, these are meal replacement. Low glycemic, they're a 40 on the glycemic index. A whey protein is 100. You don't want to be at 100. That spikes your insulin. And when you spike insulin, the holidays are coming. Have you ever noticed when people get the flu? It's usually around when? October on. What do we start to do in October? We eat lots of sugar. We start eating candy. We start eating pies and cookies, right? When you eat a tablespoon of sugar Anything above that, it shuts down your immune system by 50% for up to 8 hours. And in men, it shuts testosterone down by 33% for 3 to 5 hours. Guys, this right here is one of my favorite things about our company. This is the Children's Health Study. And we have been conducting this for over 21 years. There are 3 million families in a study, 300,000 respondents. And what they have found in this, see, what we do is when an adult signs up to take this product, we actually sponsor a child for free for up to 4 years. Now, that child can be anywhere from 4 to 18 years of age. They can be 18 to 26 as a full-time college student if we have the university or college they attend and their email address. Here's what happens. In this study, which it just cracks me up, guys, they find that children that take these products, they go to the doctor 66% less. They miss school 60% less. How incredible is that for all the parents that are working and this and that, right? And even if you're not working, we all want our kids to be healthier. They also found that children that take these products, they drink more water, eat more vegetables and fruits 71% of the time, and they go also and eat less fast food that same percentage of time. So here is some of the science behind this. We now are up to 41 double-blind peer-review studies. These studies performed on Juice Plus are actually on the product that you receive in the mail. They have been conducted in four continents and 8 countries now. In doing so, we've had studies done at Yale, Vanderbilt, UCLA, Florida, Florida State, BYU, just to name a few, along with Georgetown, Maryland. They've had studies over in England, Japan, Austria, Germany, all over the place. And one of my favorites too is in Germany. They actually showed that over a 12-week period of taking the trio, that women in this study had a 39% increase in skin microcirculation, doubling the skin thickness and the hydration. Who in here doesn't want to look younger, right? So also too, guys, if you don't believe me, ask Siri on your iPhone what the most nutritionally researched product on the planet is, and it will tell you Juice Plus. Guys, here, all of our products are also NSF certified. I had no idea what this was. This is kind of our stamp. I'll grab one and show you, but here's what happens. These are a great, great thing I share with people right here. These are our little individual packets. And basically all the products that Juice Plus have are NSF certified. What NSF tells you is that less than 1% of food have this on their label. They are examined for all kinds of bacteria, vira, mold, and mildew. They check it for radiation and ethylene gas. Now, if you're anything like me, you're thinking, what did he just say? You see, when in America, have you ever noticed how your vegetables don't taste as great from when you buy them at a grocery store? That is because the produce travels about 2,500 miles from farm to table. So knowing this is why there's a 40% absorption rate. When you pluck it early, it's not getting the nutrition. You've pulled it from the source. You've cut the source off. So what they do, because it's green, they don't want it to rot on the shelf, so they pick it 2 and 3 weeks early. They actually radiate it with radiation or ethylene gas. Yes, you heard me correctly. And so that's why when you grow your garden, if you're in Michigan, about what is it, a month and a half outside a year? Just make sure you guys are awake. might be 3 weeks, right? I'm just kidding. Sorry. I love you guys. But no,
You're so funny.
You guys love me. But what happens, that's why your produce tastes so much better. And so this is why Juice Plus vine ripens their produce, and then they wash and they also freeze them. So this right here, guys, this truly breaks my heart. I have read medical research that shows anywhere from 85 to 95 to 80 to 90%, depending upon what you read, of all chronic disease is completely preventable just by what we eat, drink, and think and put in our mouths. Literally, there are even studies in Juice Plus showing DNA changes when you take this product long enough, and cholesterol reduction. How many people do we know with cholesterol issues, guys? So this right now, you're probably asking, okay, well, what's the cost of this? And this is, I still today, in 27 years of Juice Plus being around, they've only increased prices 3 times. The farms are around 20 acres to 200 acres, and you can't even walk on them with your shoes because of the residues on your shoes. So when you order a Duo, excuse me, which is right here in the middle, it's 10 vegetables, which is broccoli, parsley, tomato, carrot, garlic, lemon beet, rice bran, and kale. And the fruits are, I can read them right here on this little packet, but apple, peach, cranberry, orange, mango, lemon peel, pineapple, prune, date, beet, and cherry. That when you take that, it's $1.50 a day or $50 a month. A child gets that same order in capsules or in chewables for free. When you add the trio, and let me explain why we do this in our family, and I'm going to explain why. I'm a big why guy. What they did at the University of Maryland, and this should really strike a chord because during the holidays, heart attacks raise 40 to 50%, including stroke, due to cardiovascular damage that people are unaware of due to inflammation. And so at the University of Maryland, they took 56 hospital employees that were considered to be completely healthy. They had no medical conditions or diseases. They were on no medication. They fed these people what they considered to be a high-fat meal. It was Egg McMuffin and a hash brown. What they noticed when they measured the arterial blood flow, because people tend to get tired after they eat a meal like that, they found that the arterial blood flow reduced by 60% and took 6 hours to get back to normal. So this Thursday, when you're watching the Lions lose, falling asleep on the couch with your hand down your pants like Al Bundy, right? Okay. You're falling asleep because you just ate a ton of fat. And so it causes those arteries to shut down. So what they did is they took and did a double-blind placebo, which means that the patient nor the doctor had no idea what they were taking. Here's what they found. In the group that took the placebo, after 28 days, they fed all of them the same high-fat meal. They didn't watch the Lions lose twice, though. Wasn't the same day. So they ran it to the end. And then what happened, they ate the placebo over the 28 days, and they found a 60% reduction for 6 hours. When they added the fruits and the vegetables, just like that Duo before, the Children's Health Study, it was a 14% reduction and took an hour to get back to normal. However, when they added the berries, the anthracyanides in the berries that stimulates nitric oxide to open the blood vessels, it would cause only a 3% reduction and took 0 lag time. This is why they call Viagra the purple pill, because it helps with vacillation. Okay. So that's a huge reason why we take the berries. It's got bilberry, blueberry, elderberry, cacao, artichoke, amongst others. What we also add in our family is we do the omegas. Those are $1 a day. So the trio costs you $2.50 a day, and the quad costs you $3.50 a day. That literally is less than a coffee that someone buys at Starbucks, and a child gets it for free. Now the shakes, and we also have bars. The thing I love about this, we only have 8 products. So it's not comprehensive. You don't have 4,000 things you're trying to share. It's extremely simple, extremely high quality, and completely unique in that regard. And so in doing this, those shakes and the bars are a meal replacement. They have 8 grams of plant fiber in the shakes, 5 in the bars. They also are a complete meal replacement, as I said, and they're $2.33 a serving, basically the same price as that breakfast sandwich that was shutting down your arteries. So you get to make that choice. Now, guys, here, I absolutely love the Tower Garden, because even if you do live in Michigan and you can grow for a week and a half outside, you can do this year round. So what happens here, this system is a vertical upright system. You can order it with or without lights. Those grow lights, what they do is you can use those in your basement, in your home, whatever, year round. It's $7 a year to run this thing. It's 95% less water. And think of the plastics that we're saving the environment. I used to go to the grocery store, I'd buy all kinds of lettuces, and I would waste on me, it would go bad. And I did the math on this, and in 4 months, this paid for itself, and I own it outright. They ship you everything you need. All you need to do is add water, and you put the minerals in this solution, and you can even have them ship you seedlings already sprouted. I just did that today. I just got mine in the mail today, actually. There's no soil. There's no E. coli, no mess. It takes 1/5 of the space to grow the same amount of produce. It's a 30% higher yield, And you can't imagine, if you've never tasted the Tower Garden, what the vegetables taste like in this. It's crazy incredible. And what a conversation starter. People that come to my house and see this, they're like, what's that thing? And then let them try it. And they're like, I have never had lettuce and things like that in my life. And some of you guys on here are growing green peppers and all kinds of other stuff. So I think Jason's even growing some wild stuff. Also, too, guys, make sure you pay attention there, man. So I don't know what that is. Do you? And when you look here, guys, this is what I want to do. If this is making sense to you, as it does to me, and you want to join us because we're a bunch of goofballs that have fun all the time, you should do that. So I'm just going to throw it out there. But on a serious note, what happens is this. When you look here at the fruits and the vegetables, we're going to break that down into 300. That's the price of this for the 4-month shipment. And we can explain this to you. What this is, you're paid 10% on that retail profit if you decide to share this business like I have. And it only costs me $52 once a year to join this business. That's $1 a week. I still think they're getting ripped off. It blows my mind. But anyway, so I get 10% retail profit. Now, would you rather make $30 on an order, or would you rather make $75 on the same thing, right? So in a moment, I'm going to walk you guys through how to earn $75 if you choose to do that. Now, also, you get paid on all the products, and it shows you over here the price and the volume. The volume is what helps you escalate up the marketing plan if you choose to do this. Now, you also can earn commissions. That's where that other $45 comes in. You get paid on the Tower Garden as well. And I forgot to mention, but the Tower Gardens, schools get grants for the Tower Gardens. And these products are so safe. They're used in the Olympics, which you can't even, in the Olympics, if you're a woman, you can't even take the menstrual pill. You can't even have an aspirin. That's why you see cupping and all kinds of techniques on these athletes. So Juice Plus is a huge proponent in this. So let's say, for instance, you say, you know what, man, this product makes so much sense. And I'm going to ask you a question. If it makes sense to you, do you think it's going to make sense to the people that you hang around? You see, birds of a feather flock together. And so what happens is when you join and you pay your $52, you're going to get paid back $30 in that initial order. What also can occur is, now that you're doing this and you're sharing it, let me show you what this looks like, guys. Can you guys see this, or I got to change the screen here? Can I see this okay, the whiteboard? Awesome. I really like to show the pictures and images. I think it makes a much, much more sense to people, guys. So this is Mrs. Laura. Laura, this is you. Now, you remember how we were talking about 300 for the trio, 420 and 420 is the quad. This is in volume. We call PV product volume. So if you do this in 10 days and you generate 1,000 points or more in 10 days, the company will send you a $100 bonus check. You also earn 10% on whatever you generate. So you would make another $100 on that. And then in the future, you start to earn 5% commission moving forward on that, which is really cool. Now, you also get a free Juice Plus Live conference ticket. And now it's up to you to share this. Now you get to build team and do this together. So Laura, let's say, for instance, that you bring on someone and their name's Valerie. And Valerie, she gets 2,000 points. She's just totally excited and enthused. And then you bring on a Vicky. And a Vicky does 500. And then you bring on a Simone. And Simone, she does another 1,000. Well, you see your next goal, which is QSC. What it needs, you need 4,000 points in 60 days. One team member, which you already have with at least an order. Now, what does this mean for you, Laura? Well, you're going to get, if you do it in 30 days, the company gives you 60. But if you do it in 30 days, they're going to send you a $400 bonus check just for helping other people. That's your promotion. Now, the cool thing is, whoever helped you and brought you in and showed you this company, they're also going to get a $300 bonus check for helping you. Have you ever seen anything like that in corporate America? I know I haven't. Usually if you do too much in corporate America, somebody's trying to take your job. Well, you see in this, you're actually helping each other, help people. So once you do this, here's where it gets really interesting. Also, once you qualify your business, you can earn 3% on downlines. Let me explain what that means. Well, let's say that Valerie keeps growing over time and she does 2 million a month in product volume, Laura. You can earn 3% on that 2 million in volume. So in this business, it's not who you know. It's who that person knows, who that person knows, who that person knows, all the way down. I'm going to explain this deeper. Now, once you understand how to become a QSC, didn't you guys say you would rather learn how to make 75 on that same order, right? And I'll be honest, this is the smallest part of my check now is what I get paid on orders. I get paid just a small percentage on helping you guys help people. So here's how this works. To become a sales coordinator, which is, Laura, where you're going next, you have to help 2 people become QSCs. And you need 1 partner plus. Now, if you remember the partner plus, what you need there is you need 1 person with 1,000 points in a 30-day window. Now you're going to earn 15% commission. You're going to get a $600 bonus check. And your person who's helping you is also above you. They're going to earn a $600 bonus check. But now, not only are you getting that 3% performance bonus, but you can also get a 3% POB, which is called performance out bonus on this as well. So you can earn even more. Now, why is this important? Once you hit this sales coordinator, you need to rinse and repeat that. You need to help 5 other people minimally do that same thing. And that is when you become a NMD, National Marketing Director. When you do that, you get, and there's levels between this, but you earn a $10,000 bonus check when you do this. You get full medical benefits. We pay $250 a month for me, my daughter, my wife, out of my check. And then what happens is once you hit the top, or you get that, you for the first 2,000, you pay 80, you get 80-20 coverage. So you pay 20% out of pocket. Once you hit 2,000 out of pocket, you have 100% coverage. There is no pre-existing conditions held against you. And also you have term and disability insurance. When I had a practice, if something would have happened to me, my wife could not take my practice over, but she can take this over. They have $1,850. It's either a semester or for the year per child in college. And this actually, our upline, Beth, her daughter got a full ride to Samford University in basketball. She turned in the receipts and they paid for her MacBook. I get a $1,000 bonus just because I'm part of this company at Christmas. It's called holiday bonus pay. And you can earn $3,000 a month in what they call BIB, business incentive bonus, that you get to spend on your business, going to seminars, putting into your education, putting into your team, and you turn in no receipts, guys. This right here is where I like to take people to show them what the possibility is, because how many people do you guys know that are single business owners that are looking for residual income? Something that can grow every single month into perpetuity, and it continues to grow. There's no limitation. But here's the other thing. In doing that, how many people you know that are struggling to get health insurance? I just talked to somebody the other day, they're paying $1,200 for garbage insurance with like a $3,000 deductible. This is the best insurance I've ever seen. Now, when I was introduced to this, I heard pyramid scheme. Does that sound familiar? Okay, that's what I heard. My father says this to me, and I want to point this out. When you hear these things, you've got to be able to take them away from people. You've got to be able to, don't argue, but explain it. This is just, they're just simply sharing their ignorance like I did. And when I ran from this because I didn't understand it, but John Paul Getty said this. He said, I'd rather have 1% of thousands of people's efforts than 100% of my own. See, my father said, even though he had got off of allergy meds, he hasn't been sick in like literally in sniffles or anything, guys. He used to take shots for his allergies, hasn't had to in 2 years. He said, I do, Dad, this thing's going crazy. He goes, well, son, it's a pyramid scheme. And I said, you mean a pyramid like this? Like where there's a CEO, and you guys have seen me do this, but it's the time and repetition spaced over time that makes you see this and understand this. Don't miss the simplicity of this. And I said, Dad, the CEO earns the most money. They have the biggest part. They take on the most responsibility. And then you have international managers, and you've got regional managers, and you've got district and all these things, and you got salesmen and this. And I said, you were like right in here. And I said, you thought that was safe and secure, and you worked there 43 years, and you showed up an hour early every single day, and they fired you, and they hired someone outside of the company to do your job who didn't even know it. And then they hired you back to consult to pay you more because they were paying so much in insurance and in your pension. And he goes, well, what's your point? I said, well, the only way you would ever hit the top of this company is if you marry that person, and God bless mom because she stuck with you, right? And so I said, here's how so now what I just did with them is I just showed them that that's how every corporate structure is built. Do you guys get that? Right? Steve, you work for a huge company. Who earns the most? Who keeps getting cutbacks, right? Okay. Like, and I'm not trying to make people feel bad here. This guy works for a multi-billion-dollar international company. Every company situated this way. Okay. Here's our company strategy. Every human being starts at the bottom. If you're 18 years young, okay, I don't care if you're black, purple, polka dot, white, wearing a bikini, whatever, it doesn't matter. You start at the bottom right there. And then you can hit Partner Plus, and then you can go to qualifying sales coordinator, and sales coordinator, and then QSSC, then SC, then QNMD, and then NMD, and then they've added extra stuff. My point, you start here, but every single person can hit the top. And there's no limitation on the people at the top. And I met a lady at conference who has 14 children that homeschools them that hit the top of this company. And I thought, what is my excuse? Then I met a 90, I don't know, I think he was 92 or 95. No, he was 95. His wife was 92. And he hit the top of the company. So it's not how old we are. It's not how young we are. It's how much we want to learn and work on self, work on craft, work on mindset so you understand this stuff. Let me show you one more thing. This right here, guys, when you get to qualifying sales coordinator, that second level, and you qualify your business and you keep adding orders, they average $500 to $750 a month. That's real money. That's a nice car payment for somebody. Okay. And I want to give you guys real numbers, but here's the thing. It takes time to build this Christmas. It's called the Christmas tree effect. So in network marketing, it is not how good you are at what you do. Trust me, I learned that the hard way. It's being able to help people duplicate themselves. It's creating systems that are duplicatable. You have to be teachable like you guys are doing, and you have to be duplicatable. What does this mean? In Juice Plus, we get paid down 5 generations. So, Laura, if this is you and you reach out and you teach 5 other people. So on this line right here, there's 5 people. And if we take the time and we love these people, we work with these people, we educate these people and do our thing with these people, what starts to happen is these 5 people will then bring on in the second generation. 5 times 5 is what? It's 25. Can 25 people share better than 1? Okay, what did Jesus do? He went and got 12 disciples and he taught them, right? Now, they weren't as good, obviously, as Jesus, but he rubbed off on them, right? And those people kept spreading and doing the thing. So when those 25 teach 5, now the third generation is 125. When those 125 teach 5, now the fourth generation is 625. And the fifth generation, if those 625 teach, is 3105 for a grand total of 3,906 people. All out, just doing a little bit of work. And here's the thing. In the Bible, it says that seed, you never know which one of the seed is going to turn into 30, 60, or 100-fold. You don't know, and it might not be this person. It might be somebody down here. And it might be somebody that they know, that they know, that they know that came over. And if each of these people are worth just $10, and some are worth way more than other people, and you add another 0, that is your paycheck a month. In 5 years and 10 years, if you just stick with this, will it take time? Yeah, all great things take time. Okay. But eventually this looks like a little Christmas tree like this, each level. And you keep getting more and more and more down here. And then before you know it, all the gifts are under the tree. Where you really, 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 really get paid is down here on the 5th generation, because you have 3,105 people out there helping. This is where it gets exciting. These are people that have been in this for years and years and years that have weathered the storms. And what I will say over and over again, yeses will build your paycheck, but no is what builds you. And when you build you, that's when your paycheck grows. You guys have any questions about this stuff? About the business? If the business makes sense and you want to sign up, I love to show people this, because when I saw this, I realized how hard I had worked for 17 years. And I was like, man, if I can help other people do this, that made a lot of sense to me. See, I was a small business owner like Jason. We thought we had a business, didn't we, Jason? Right? You know, when you go out of town to come down to see me, you're not there generating, but you're still paying bills, aren't you? And you're still paying people. See, that's not a business. This can become a business. And I'm not knocking. I did the same thing. I just now, when you have employees, think about this, guys. How many of you guys know people that own hair salons, or they own medical practices or chiropractic practices or whatever, or they're trainers, and they work really hard and they teach the trainers, they teach the hair salon owners, they teach the chiropractors, right, Jason? Then they go and leave your practice, and what do? They go open up somewhere else. What if we could teach them how to do this? And then when they did leave, guess what they're doing? They're split. They're sharing that seed everywhere, aren't they? And then all of a sudden, 3 or 4 generations down, you're starting to get a big line growing from somebody you helped years ago. That's what we have here, guys. Like, it's the vision that's the thing that just blows me away when you think about that. Does that make sense? Don't judge the day by the seeds that you're planting, or the harvest you reap, but the seeds you sow. Just like Jason told us, remember 18 months ago, this woman had it in a cart and she pulled it out of the cart. Oh, that's what they say in the Bible, right? You're carrying the seed and all of a sudden all these seeds are falling all over the road and some of them sprout out of the ground real fast. Oh my God, I got a whole cart, Dr. Jason. I'm going to order. Oh, no, sorry. Freaking bird came and ate it. And then some of them fall off the side of the road and they sprout up really quick because there's not a lot of dirt there. They get some rain. They get excited and then they die. Well, it just doesn't work. And then all of a sudden, more of them fall off the side of the road. One of them takes root. And that seed, it says biblically, can turn into 30, 60, or 100 fold. And if you look at Deuteronomy 111, 1,000 fold. You never know where that's going to come from. So just keep plugging and chugging, because that one might be your well right there, Doc. That one that was such a pain in the butt. It's like I like to tell my wife I was that pain in the butt. You know, she finally landed me. I actually had to call her 3 times. She wouldn't even return my calls. I have no idea why. You guys are all on mute. You can come off mute and talk. Look, I scared that Jen. She's still around. I didn't scare you off the call yet. Thank God. Laura's like, man, he is so obnoxious. Oh my God.
Oh, it takes a lot. It would take a lot. No worries.
I feel like you already. We like to have fun on these calls.
Oh, absolutely. It's good. Good.
Guys,
Especially in this environment.
This is one thing too. I love our community. It's amazing. And thank you guys for tuning in. I want to share something with you. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. Please stamp that in your brains, okay? In your minds. And what I mean is, this is something that has been so wonderful to me. These little pocket packets, okay? Now, I did it a lot and I did it wrong. I didn't do it the right way. I would just hand them out to people. That's not effective. So these little guys right here, it's like $125 and you get, I think, 90 or 100 of these. Do you know, Dr. Jason? It's something like that, isn't it?
I think it's 90 of them. I'm not 100% sure though.
Here's how you use this piece of gold. What I do is I will take these and I'll say, I'll start a conversation. I might be at a ball field. I might even be around the table at Thanksgiving, right, with some family. And I'll pull these out. And I say, hey, do me a, do you ever have trouble, maybe having, your kid eating fruits and vegetables? And they're thinking, God, I won't even eat fruits and vegetables the way I'm supposed to, right? I'll say, well, do me a favor. Would you try these? Now I have them try them and open them right in front of me. I then watch their reaction of their face. Okay. And when I see them go, usually they go 9 out of 10 times, they go, wow, that's really good. See, it tastes like a gummy bear, doesn't it? And they're like, yeah. And I said, do me a favor now. When I see the good response, I say, turn that over and look at that. And they get to see what's in there. And I say, do you know that your child gets this for free when you order this product? What on here mother is not looking for an easy button to get more vegetables and fruits than their children? I'm a dad and I'm looking for that. My daughter literally says, I'm the fun parent because I let her go play and do stuff that mommy doesn't like her to do. But mommy's the fun junk food person because daddy makes me eat good stuff. I'm the weird one. It's usually the moms that do that, right? Okay. My point is we're all looking for that. And for the first time in the history of our country and our species, our children are going to live shorter life expansion or life expectancy than what we are as adults. That's truth. If we don't change and right this ship. So that's a really great way to start a conversation with someone. Are you guys having trouble with that? I want to spitball on this. You know what I mean? Like Jennifer, being new to this, what questions do you, and please, I learn every day. So I don't have this thing figured out. I was just telling people this earlier. And this is something I do want to share real quick. Do not be perfect about this. You're never going to be perfect. Ever. Okay? Just share the stuff. Just give people exposure to it. You follow me? I had a mom and she's, well, I have this family I need to tell, but they're so private. And I looked her in the eye and I said, look, if somebody knew something that was going to help your children, wouldn't you want to know? What do you think she's going to say to that? And it got her to question that. But sometimes you got to ask that tough question. So Jennifer, I'm sorry, it made me think of something, but do you have any questions for us?
So I'm curious. So today I take a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, but a few different supplements that I'm sure you guys have heard of before. So it used to be Zija, and then it's now merged with Isogenics. I'm sure you guys have heard of that company before. And we do a lot of the moringa. Do you know what that is as well?
No, I do not. Can you? I don't know a lot of other companies.
Vegetables. So I know it's a combination of fruits and it's like a superfood, right? The fruits and vegetables. It's not broken out into the different 2 caplets with the vegetables and fruits that Juice Plus is, but it has a lot of similar ingredients, maybe not exactly the same. I'd have to do a direct comparison to see what is the difference exactly between the two. But just wondering what, I guess maybe that is one of my questions myself that I need to look at is what would be the difference of those between the moringa, which is a superfood, and like I said, it does replace a lot of those fruits and vegetables versus the Juice Plus.
Yeah, I mean, the thing, and I would what I would share.
And it's all plant, protein, or plant-based protein, I should say.
Okay.
As well.
With ours, you get a free children's health study.
Which is nice.
Huge,
yeah,
right?
For sure.
Number 2, it's the most researched product on the planet. Now, I can't speak for Isogenics, but I do know with other companies, Jennifer, and I'm going to give you an example here. Okay. They will, it's called borrowing research. And what companies do, if they do a study on green tea extract, and let's just say that they use 1,500 milligrams of that, and they found that would reduce inflammation, people will read that and they'll put that amount of green tea extract in their product and never even study the product on a person.
To go back and forth, right?
Yeah. And
I get it. Yep.
So Juice Plus, what you get in the mail is what they conduct at the universities when they do the studies. It's also so safe that it's actually used in the Olympics, and it's NCAA certified. And it's been studied in pregnancy at University of Mississippi. It's been studied on cancer survivors. We have insulin resistance studies, DNA studies, cholesterol changes, inflammatory reduction studies, wisdom teeth extraction. There's a reason behind that too, and why they did that. Skin studies showing the increase in micro skin circulation. It is the most researched product on the planet. So that's one reason why in my clinic, I never did a multivitamin or any type of vitamins whatsoever. It didn't make sense to me because I knew God didn't make a vitamin separately, Jennifer. So he put just like in an apple, for instance, there's like, they believe 10 to 12,000 phytochemicals. So, which are
Mhm.
basically plant ingredients or, extracts and chemicals. And they found that there was about 5.8 milligrams of vitamin C in the apple. Now what they did then is they compared that to 1,500 milligrams of megadose vitamin C man-made. And they found that the 5.8 actually outperformed the 1,500 because of all the other chemicals in that plant that work with the vitamin C. So it's not just
Right.
one or the other, but what Juice Plus does, they have the rainbow. And we actually have clinical, they have studies showing that in these studies, 26 of the studies affect your cardiovascular system, and 19 of them show it gets into your bloodstream and stays in your bloodstream. You're not peeing it out because it's food.
Yeah, it's absorbing into your system versus just
Yes, ma'am.
basically depleting it. Correct. Okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
I've heard about isogenics. I've never studied it. You know what I mean? I just comment on what I know. You know what I mean? If I don't know something.
Yeah, understandable. Like I said, I've been doing the Zija for maybe 2.5 years now, and I am I don't know all the details off the top of my head, unfortunately at the moment. And then they merged with Isogenics within the last 6 to 8 months. And I know that a lot of the moringa with the superfoods and all of that stuff, like I said, I was just curious, one versus the other, if one is, I don't know if one absorbs better than the other. Of course, you just kind of wonder what the deltas are and kind of going from there. That's my only question.
Yeah, I know we have clinical studies showing how it gets in your bloodstream and coalesces with your body to make other chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Gotcha.
so how have you been feeling since you've been taking your Moringa?
I do really enjoy it, and I really did see a difference from taking nothing, obviously, to doing that.
Yeah,
I've
anytime you
never
put
taken-
plants in, you're going to be better off.
Oh, of course, and that's exactly one of the things that sold me on the moringa. But I'm always looking for new and better things to see further improvements. Of course, I do
Yeah,
like the
so-
fact that. Oh, go ahead.
I know
Oh,
that.
sorry. I had a client or a customer come on, and she was a bariatric patient, and of course, I had permission to share the story. And that was the bioavailable was like her number one thing because she can't consume a ton of food daily, and so she was just taking double to triple vitamins because it would just go out of her body. And anyway, so she got on Juice Plus, trusted the process, and she was, I think her something within her blood was really low, and she
Probably
wanted to have
iron.
yeah, and so she wanted to have a kid. So she had to reverse the surgery that she had for the procedure, but the doctor said that her numbers were too low, that she wasn't able to have the procedure, and literally got on Juice Plus 3 weeks later. She went back for just her regular checkup for that. And the doctor said, I don't know what you did, but whatever you did made it where we can schedule the surgery. She then, I think a week later, had the surgery. So, I mean, you mentioned bioavailability. It changed her life. So I just wanted to share that.
Well, I know that with me taking Juice Plus, I suffered for 40 years with hip pain where I had broken my pelvis. And when I started taking Juice Plus, it went away. It's lowered my cholesterol 100 points. I had diverticulitis and it cleared. Well, I'm not supposed to say that, but it's gone. So.
Yeah, I saw that a lot, Jennifer, in patients, tons. I mean, when I was in practice, I'm sure Dr. Jason's seen that stuff too. Those are all testimonies, you know what I mean? But there's tons of research to explain why those things occur too.
And so by any means are we saying Juice Plus cures anything? Because we can't say that. But I believe that if we give the body the correct tools, the body has the ability to take care of itself. And so Juice Plus, you're putting more tools in your tool belt for your health.
Well, and two, if you're taking all those, if you're getting all those fruits and vegetables in a few small caplets versus having to consume, what, 6 to 7 and each, fruits and vegetables a day, that's a lot. And most people never get that in a day.
I eat 2 salads a
that
day. I don't touch that. You know what I
The
mean?
what?
I'm sorry, Jen. I said I eat 2 salads a day. I don't get close to that. But the other thing, too-
Right, exactly. I mean, even if you ate salad and fruit all day long, I mean, more
Yeah.
than likely you're not getting those true benefits out of that.
The
So I
big-
totally understand that side.
one of the biggest things that they found in all the research is the broad spectrum, the rainbow they call it, because there's so many different color variations that you're getting. It's not a lot like what we tend to do as people, at least I did. I would eat a lot of kale, or I'd eat a lot of spinach one day, right? And it's not a lot of one thing, it's a little bit of a lot. And that's what they
Right.
really found. And it's crazy what they see. They even have a study now from the University of Memphis showing how this has completely changed the gut biome, which I saw all the time in practice. I would have people come in with IBS. I had IBS clinically.
Oh yeah.
And it was gone within like days in my case. And so when people are getting this chronic pain, they have gastric issues. Their immune system's out of balance due to the gut biome. So this changes all that. It's hilarious. Just feeding your body what your body's supposed to eat. That's all. But
Well,
I hope
and
it helps.
with
You know what I mean?
the different way that people eat every day and adding these to that definitely helps, right? So I totally understand the methodology and the benefits that go into the fruits and vegetables and into these little caplets for sure. Like I said, I'm more curious, and I'll do some further research, as Steve knows. I like to do a little bit of that. But I want to see, how that compares to the moringa. And just out of curiosity, it's not something that maybe it might be a good additive to what I already take as well. So.
Yeah, is your product or the NSF certified? Do you know that?
That is something that I don't know. And when you brought that up earlier, I'd have to look at that because that doesn't ring a bell with me off the top of my head. But again, it's been a minute since I've looked at all the details. So I'll have
That's
to
a
look at
big,
that.
if you don't see that, then they can put additives into the product, Jennifer. I never knew that. So what I did in the past, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut Dr. Jason off, but I would have
No, you're-
patients and I would ask them when they would take Juice Plus, just maybe for 2 to 3 weeks, just halt the other products. Don't throw them away. You know what I mean? I never tell people to do anything like that, but just wait, take this, let's see if this changes that. And many people in here have done just that with their companies, taking great products. I know Kathy and Lance, Jason, same thing, Dr. Jason. And when they would do that, they would notice how much change there was because some products, if they put fillers in it, it can create more inflammation. And so then your body's having to counterbalance that. It's actually reducing glutathione responses and stuff in the body. So and my dad fought me on that. I'm like, Dad, just trust me. Who you put me on? I said, I know I'll put you in other stuff, but just try this. And then we'll know. I said, don't throw it away. And if we need to add it back in, we can always do that. You know what I mean? So that's just something to think about too. But Jason, I'm sorry, what were you saying, brother? I thought you were going to say something. I didn't
You
mean-
know that I've got some patients that do the isogenic stuff. I don't know about the moringa, but I'm not sure if all of isogenic stuff is NSF certified, but I know some of their stuff is for sure. I just don't know about all, but I know some of it is.
So the moringa is part of the Zija brand. And when they merged, right, they do a lot. The Isogenics is more known for their plant-based smoothies and their shakes and stuff of that nature. But the Zija, what Zija brought to the table was their moringa, basically, because that was one of their patented superfoods and things of that nature. So I'm curious to see what that delta or difference is between them all. That's an interesting comparison I would like to make. But yeah, so the Isogenics you said is some of it is NSF certified as well.
Yeah, I'm just not sure about all of their products, but I know definitely some of it is NSF certified with some of their shakes.
And I have not tried all of the isogenic stuff by any means. I've only tried a few things. So I haven't really dug a whole lot into the isogenic side. Still kind of going through all my Zija products as well before I order everything from Isogenic. So, okay, good to know. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.